How good to have your skipper back?
Yeah, it's great. Look, he's a very influential man and character around the group, and he's done very well on the rehab, and the medics have done a fantastic job getting him back fit. So, really pleased to have him back. But notwithstanding that, everyone's got their job to do.
Is this perfect case scenario? Did you expect to have him back before playoffs?
Yeah. We had a timeline in mind, and I guess it's one of those things you never really talk about it because there's variables around it. But our rehab guys and medics here are world class, and when he came off with the injury and we started managing it, it was done brilliantly. So they're right on time, and really pleased to have him back available.
How coincidental is it in the time that you haven't had him? Two losses, 2 wins, up until then, a clean sheet. So, the absence of Luke, does that underline just how big his influence is in the group?
Well, I think no man's an island. I think we're really comfortable with our squad, and what we've got is a squad that's got some young guys that are coming through and learning. And sometimes when you're learning, they're not all wonderfully, treasurable experiences. Sometimes you learn more from those than when things are going well. So, look, there's been lots of things that we've been developing and growing, and those experiences I think will make those younger players better, certainly for the future. But when you get back to the end of the season, you start sort of honing your group back to what's the team you think you can get the job done.
In terms of those unpleasurable experiences, obviously last weekend, I guess, is as disappointing as it can get. No one wants to surrender the shield, but to that end, just tell us about this week and how the group has responded.
Really well, and I think all you do is you work through it objectively and find out what's tangible, what can we change, and there's things we could have definitely done better. No two ways about it. But once we found what the critical few were, then those are the things we work on, and then we start pointing our wagons towards Auckland. And seasons don't stop, and I think if you stand still and reflect, the one thing you can't do is change yesterday, but you can influence tomorrow. So it's a very positive mindset about what's next on the horizon, and that's the way we've been all season, regardless of what results have been. We've always been about what's next. So it was very important for us from Monday to really set the sights on Auckland and put a game plan together that we know we can deliver.
Looking at the lineup that you've named, you've made a hell of a lot of changes there. Is that about some blokes, the load they've carried, or is it with an eye to the week ahead? How, just in terms of planning for this game, what's sort of the mindset here in terms of the way you guys have approached it?
It's a mixture of both. The front rows are pretty interchangeable and really have been. Alex Hodgman's played a lot of minutes, but the rest of the guys have sort of been playing half games. Hamish and Birdie had a half a game last week, and Mitch has played a lot of rugby, so just balancing out the load. And as I say, we've got full trust in the squad. So the reality is that everyone's got to pull their piece, and also guys want to put their hands up for semi-finals. So keeping the competition live is very much a part of it. But we've picked a team that we know can get the job done for us. One
name that surprised me, the Caleb Makine, good player, but we haven't sort of seen him, I guess, since the pre-season. You've kind of pulled him in from nowhere.
Yeah, well, again, George has played a ton of minutes all year, so massive super campaign, massive Mitre 10 campaign. Now, Caleb's been playing for the development group and been playing outstandingly well, scored a hat-trick last week and, earned the opportunity. And, you get nothing for free here, that's one thing I can guarantee you. So he's earned the right to come in and play and stake a case. And sometimes the work that you don't see publicly is really valued, and we think he's done a really good job. Played really well against Wellington in the development game last week and earned the opportunity.
There's pressure on these guys, obviously with the loss last weekend, but equally you've got an Auckland team. It really is Dance of the Desperados for them, isn't it? So the intensity you would imagine that they are going to bring, it's really going to put the heat on you blokes.
Of course it is, and we go up there to put a game plan in place that'll test and stress them. But they are desperate, but we're no different. And the reality is we're setting sights on bigger prizes, and so are they. So look, it should be a hell of a contest, and a great place to play at, great stadium, wonderful surface, and I think you'll find both teams will want to move the ball around. So look, they've got some very talented players, and so have we. So let's see how it all plays out.
Glenn, what did you see when you broke down the film from the Taranaki game?
I think when we broke it down, there were some areas around the breakdown that we needed to improve. So that's pretty much where we've focused. There's some little execution pieces, but you don't dwell on those too much because they're either well executed or not. You can change those pretty quick. But probably the breakdown was an area we felt we needed to be a bit better at.
Mitch Drummond, is he not playing as well? Is that sort of the same as George Bruce, plenty of minutes on the legs?
Yeah, a lot there, and when you look at their halfback stocks, we've got Eddie and Jack Stratton as well, who have both had really good seasons. So, you want to keep a competitive balance. Drummo's played fantastically well for us and is one of our key guys, but the other two guys are as well. And the reality is making sure everyone's finely tuned ahead of next week is very important to us.
Good vibe overall in the last couple of days, building into tomorrow.
Yeah, fantastic. Lots of energy. This group doesn't sit and wallow and dwell. It gets on pretty quick, and that's part of the solution sort of focus that we have as a coaching group is what's tangible. Otherwise, we can just sit and catastrophise the universe, and things will never get better. But when you just say, hey, let's work on this, they've got something tangible, we can go and work on it. So from Monday, it's been a really good week.